Ugh. What can I say? I'd like to welcome the world to my first YouTube upload. Sadly, it is a response to a response by the one and only Reindeer. Um, what can I say? Reindeer, I've been watching a couple of your posts, uploads, whatever you want to call them. I really and sincerely wanted to believe that you weren't somehow biased, bigoted, but I must say that the more I watch it, the more I see that side of you coming out. Now, you may love South Africa, and you may love the landmass, the borders that it is defined as, but you do not love the essence or the people who are there, who are there rightfully. I'm sure you have your reasons why you believe that you are there rightfully, and in all honesty, I would not want to displace you at this point. I don't want to send you to Europe or anywhere, or anywhere else. If that's where you want to be, that's where you want to be. But don't believe for an instant that that makes you any more African than me, even though I've never set foot in Africa. And thus comes the first crux of why I had to make this video, because you exhibit so much of what white Americans exhibit over here, what we get, but you have such a shorter span. At least white Americans, they do have a fourth year, I guess, or a fortnight, actually, I guess, in which they can say, well, why is this and why is this different? But unlike South Africa, America we've never had a black government. We are about to get the first black president, but we've never had a black government to govern the people. I watched your videos and I looked up certain points, and in all honesty, the rate of killings of white farmers is still not that high. It's still not that high. When you put it into a context, you see, what you want us to do is you want us to disconnect from the apartheid era. You want us to just forget it, because it never happened. It never happened, and it doesn't influence what's happening today. And you want us to just take your side of it. Now, you accuse Khayav, someone who I respect, by the way. You accuse him of being, of sugarcoating, of painting a picture, or painting one side of a picture, or painting a picture with one color. And that may be true. That may be true. I mean, I'm sure he's motivated, but you're doing the exact same thing. You're not saying, well, this is what black South Africans are doing, and this is what white South Africans are doing. No, you just keep on hammering black this, black that, black this, black that, and that is when we see the venom from you about this subject come across, and that is why people will probably call you a racist. I'm not too sure if I call you a racist. I think you're a misguided young man who probably just doesn't know how to exercise his anger. I think the problem is that you see anything black because you probably have been indoctrinated by the system that was there, which was heavily biased. It was one of the most atrocious systems in modern time. The fact that it lasted till the 1990s. Till the 1990s should tell you something about how much and how strongly South Africans, the government and the people and the white South Africans who were in power, felt about the system to insist that that system stay in power officially. In America, we don't have an official policy. What we have is a bunch of subterfuge. This is why I kind of prefer South Africa, because at least there you knew who was a bigot, because they told you, I'm a bigot, I don't like you, kafir or nigger or whatever the hell they want to call it. So we get to another one of the problems, and that is your self-image in the system that is there now. You feel alienated. You don't have that big brother that's going to help you, that's going to grab you, that's going to ensure your white privilege. So you feel scared. Of course, things are going to go wrong. I don't think there's any time in the world that everything is going to go right. But the fact that you are not willing to see the things that are also good that are going on in the country. Oh, you talk about the rate of poverty, so on and so forth. Yes, there is poverty in South Africa. It's severe poverty, and it's ongoing problem, but it's not an acute problem. It's a chronic problem. That is a problem that has been going on before blacks even dreamt of having power in the country. So now that they do, they're only going to be able to tackle it one step at a time. There's so many things that have to be balanced. And I don't think you're giving black people the proper opportunity. The regime before had hundreds of years to fuck it up. And you want to complain about 13? You back off. That's your problem. Back off. Relax. Let the thing flow, man. You're not saying nothing. You're not saying a thing. And that's truly sad. I don't know what. I really don't know what you get up with and what angst you have and whatever and whatnot. It looks like you're preparing for a war. I guess, the farmer situation is a problem. I'm glad that you have this anger because of that. I'm glad that you have this zeal. Now you understand how black people have been feeling the years upon years of apartheid, decade upon decade. And we see how strong warriors being killed, being silenced, being shut down because of the color of their skin. Remember race cards and the passbook? I've never been to South Africa, but I know about these things. Remember the beatings, the electrocution? These are all things that the black government who instituted the, Commission of Truth, I think it's called. If I'm wrong, I'm not a countryman, so I don't know. But I think this Commission of Truth allowed you to just simply come out and tell your grievances, and then you're off scot-free. You get to go back to work. There's no real penalty. Da 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 da. And I guess you think that this is fair. It's not really. I mean, tell me that some white South Africans are dying, and in all honesty, as one human to another human, it's an awful thing. But then, in the same breath, you acknowledge that these are people who encourage apartheid. So they may be revenge killers. I have read books upon books. I have heard stories. I have read articles upon articles about the atrocities that went on during apartheid. And this is just the stuff that people have the courage to say. So, when you talk about it, I'm sorry to hear it because I don't want any harm to come to another human being, but I understand the anger of the people who would inflict that kind of anger. Because if I'm a young boy of 6 who was born in the throes of apartheid, and I hear, well, Farmer Johannesburg Star over there killed your daddy, killed your uncle. When I become a man, I may have that in my heart. And when I become a man with some power in a new regime, and I'm exercising my power, I don't have that fear anymore. I may be angry. Instead of going on YouTube and sputting a bunch of rhetoric, I may decide to go out to Farmer Joe's house and see what happens. It's not right, but I can see why it would happen. If I was able to prevent it, I would, in all honesty. But I understand where it's coming from. And I don't think that you do, and I don't think you ever will. You're going to pick apart this video, and you're going to say whatever it is you need to say, and that's perfectly fine. But you need to understand. I don't think I've seen a video where you've been kind of right.